Hey there, growth climbers. Today we are going to be looking at cold outreach techniques, in particular, email cold outreach. This is a great free way to really build your lists in a really smart way to get really high response. That way, you don't really have to worry about email deliverability, different problems like that. Also getting high engagement, high response out of your emails means you can connect with a lot more leads without having to pay for a lot more leads. So let's kind of get into it. We're going to start out. You can see the different columns I've got here. We're going to go through them. Everything we're going over today is basically geared towards super personalized, super targeted emails. They're a lot more personalized than really any kind of cold outreach email you typically see. And a lot of times with those highly targeted, highly personalized emails, a person's response is just 100 times better because they feel like you took the time to get to know them, get to know their company, get to know a little bit about them, and you're not just firing off 1,000 blast emails. Now, there is a way to do both at the same time. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's where this gets really powerful, is combining the automation with the super, super highly targeted personalization. So right here, everything I'm going to be doing today is just Google, Google Sheets, Google Docs. Everything's free. You can do all of this stuff for free. So there's really nothing to it other than just as long as you have access to Google, we are good to go. So let's start over here. In column A, we've got company name, pretty typical. We've all gotten cold emails before that are, uses your company name. That's nothing special. Same with first name. We've got the email column. Here's where we start to get have a little bit more fun. And this is really there's a lot of trial and error that has gone into this, but there isn't a blanket, I would say, email template or personalization field, merge field that works across the board. Some work better for different industries. It's a little bit of trial and error, A/B testing. We can talk about that later as well. But we'll start here. So insights about the company. Now, when you're researching, going through leads, it can feel a little time consuming at first. Once you get it down into a groove, into a system, you'll really get going on this. There's also different programs that automate this technology and different services that also automate this for you, so you don't have to spend hours and hours every day doing this. But again, this will all pay off in a big way. So we're going to get to how we got this information. So just real quick, it's insights about the company. My sample company here is Growth Climbers. So how we got that is just clicking on their LinkedIn company page and seeing a recent article or something that they shared. In this case, it's this thing about this two-pronged approach. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Just know, hey, it seems like this company is very excited about their two-pronged approach. So we're going to add that into our Google Sheet into this column in the insights about the company. I will say a lot of this stuff we're looking at insights about the company on their LinkedIn page. School mascot, that's on their LinkedIn page. Contact City, that's easily Googleable, if that's a word. But the CRM unique field is a good one. If you can export out of your CRM, if you have a CRM, if you don't have a CRM, if you're working off of Google Sheets or a spreadsheet or even just a notebook and a paper, just anything that information, insight from the past or something that you know about that company. In this case, what we know about the company, we're just going to assume that we found out that they know HubSpot. Maybe it was a past salesperson that found that out. Maybe we hired a research company to find that out. Whatever the case is, we'll just assume that we know that. So that's for that column. School mascot. This is one you can, if you've got a Sales Navigator account with LinkedIn, again, that's a paid service, but even standard LinkedIn, you have a certain amount of searches every month. You can see on somebody's profile where they went to school. It's a great way to connect with somebody, mention their school mascot there. And then also Contact City, just a way to show that you know where they are. Again, that you're not just blasting out 1,000 impersonalized emails. Okay, so let's go over to email templates. And actually, before I go to email templates, something cool about this school mascot. Let me switch sheets over here. I'd be happy to send this over to you. Just shoot me a note and I will send it your way. It's a breakdown of all college nicknames associated with colleges. So when you're on somebody's LinkedIn and you see, hey, they went to Mount St. Mary's College, you would know that that's their mascot. The same with any number of these. Spring Hill College, bald eagles apparently. So it's a good way if you're looking to send out a batch of emails. For example, Bearcats, you can send out to everybody who has went to any of these schools instead of just one. So all of these schools you can target with that same merge field as Go Bearcats. Okay, so let's get into the email templates. My whole thing and my philosophy on emails, a lot of people set up these email drip campaigns and they send 4 or 5 emails. I really don't prescribe to that same thinking, and here's why. One, on your first email, you always want to make sure you have an unsubscribe link so you get that response by having them click that link. That's really important to email deliverability. Personalization is really important to email deliverability as well. That goes a long way to making sure your sender score is very high. But the more emails you keep blasting at somebody's inbox, just basically, usually they're just different versions of the same email. The more it kind of gets tired and your sender score starts to go down because your response rate goes lower and lower for each email you send. I prefer to just send a super personalized email right off the bat, right out of the gates, just with everything I've got to show them, hey, I know you, I know about your company, I'm interested, let's talk. If they're not interested from that first email and they've unsubscribed, that's fine. If they don't unsubscribe, but they don't respond to my email, I'm going to plug them into my social media campaign, connect with them on LinkedIn, view their profile. That'll be another video. But basically, they get tossed into our LinkedIn social media campaign after that first email if they don't respond. And again, that all goes into just a super high email deliverability, super high email response rate. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time with email campaigns with low response rates that can really be problematic in a number of ways. Okay, so again, we're pulling all of this data from just our master lead list that we've set. This is our sample company is Growth Climbers, but this would work for, you want to make sure the wording is the same for each company. So let's say Nike was my next lead. It wouldn't be the same article, but it might be your athletic wear, something with the same, your new, something a little more specific than that. But maybe it's something a little specific, something, and again, I would know that by going to their company page. Bad example, but just following this same kind of grammar so that it all fits. So again, going back to the email templates, this is what it will look like. You can use a couple different programs. If you have Outlook, you can actually just use Outlook Mail Merge. There's a number of good tutorials. I'll probably throw one together as well. If you'd like access to one of those, just shoot me a note. I will send that over to you. If you are a Google person, there's a lot of different things you can use. You can use Gmass, works really good for cold email campaigns. Something, if you've got Outlook or Gmail, but you don't want to live inside those programs, you can use Mailshake. That's a good one. They are all the same in that they need this data with the merge fields. Okay. So this is basically what it will look like, right? You've got your different fields broken out. My subject line here will look like, basically, I'm keeping it very simple. I'm just saying, go college mascot, which is what it'll plug into. It'll be Go Mustangs in the subject line. Something to catch their attention and show that I know a little bit about them. I've done my homework. And that'll be basically, this is what it'll look like. So, and we've seen incredibly high response rates with these kinds of emails. And it also just starts you off on the right foot with the prospect. Now, again, building this list up, getting to even 100 leads, that could take you all day with this amount of fields. Now, there's a number of tools out there that can automate some of this stuff. Some of it, you still have to do a little bit of manual homework yourself and kind of fill in the gaps. Now, that's something Growth Climbers does offer as a service if you're ever interested in that. We completely automate not only your email campaigns, but your social media campaigns. And basically, once we get an interested prospect, we send them over to you. But again, it's from the beginning, we're going to be working with you, whether you're working with us or not. You want to work to create something that works for your industry, merge fields that are very personalized but work well with what you're doing. This is just a sample, but again, the response rate we've seen has been very high. And we've tried different email templates that just use one of these, just a college mascot, just an insight about a company, just something unique from a CRM. And, they get still strong response rates, but your best response rate is when you combine everything into one. You just hit them with everything you got. If they don't respond, great. We'll throw them into our LinkedIn social media campaign. And from there, we'll try to connect with them that way. Again, anything, that you'd like a little more clarification on, just shoot back an email to the marketing email group. Actually, it'll probably be coming out from Jessica. So you can shoot that over to her, and we'd be glad to answer any questions you might have. But definitely give it a try and let me know what kind of responses you get and what kind of results you get.
At Growth Climbers, our mission is to streamline the sales process so your prospects can focus on closing deals, not chasing them. Our technology, people, and proven system empowers your team to work smarter, not harder. We help businesses grow up to 5 times faster by funneling warm leads into the hands of your top closers. Growth Climbers, a scalable solution for your inside sales program.